This is TWiT.
This, of course, is the part of the show where you write in with your shortcuts requests, and Rosemary Orchard, our shortcuts expert, provides a response. The first Shortcuts Corner request comes in from Ron, who writes, "Hi, I'm hoping that Rosemary could help me with a shortcut. I use earbuds while I go to sleep with the volume turned appropriately down. That works fine. Problem is, sometimes I want to use an alarm to wake up in the morning. The volume is just as low, and if an earbud falls out, I might not hear the alarm. I'd like to have a shortcut or shortcuts to 1, turn on the alarm at a given time, but at a higher volume that I select so that I wake up, and or 2, switch the audio output so that the alarm plays through the iPhone speaker at a very high volume so that I wake up. Bonus points would be if I could select a particular song to wake me up. Probably these would be School Days from Chuck Berry or Wake Up Little Susie, Every Brothers. I have both on my iPhone. Thanks for your help. I enjoy your show and at least a half dozen other TWiT programs and enjoy being a member of TWiT." Ron, thank you for your support. You know, I'm curious to hear what your solution here is, Rosemary. I have to say, I am a person who uses AirPods almost every night to fall asleep to audiobooks. And I don't know if it's just because they're AirPods, so Apple has better integration or what, but my alarm still rings from my iPhone, even though I have AirPods. It may be that I wake up in the middle of the night and put my AirPods away or something. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like why for me it works that the alarm goes off from the phone, but Ron is having trouble getting the alarm to go off on the phone, because it seemed like Apple was wise about making the alarm play out on the device as well. Anyway, curious to hear your Shortcuts Corner response.
Well, there's a couple of things that I'm going to talk about. So first of all, in the clock app in settings, not in, in the clock app on your iPhone, not in shortcuts, not in settings, clock. If you go to the alarms tab, I would like Ron to double check if he's using the sleep alarm. Because if he's not using the sleep alarm, this could also play in with a difference. Because I have found if I'm wearing headphones and my alarm goes off, any one of these, random ones down here, then I will get it ringing in my headphones. And if it's the sleep alarm, then it will play out loud. So that is a very good starting point and the reason why I thought of this or realized this is because in preparation for this, I had a little look and I was looking into the sound options, and you can pick sounds for alarms, but you can't pick sounds for your sleep alarm that include a song. So I've got Walking on Sunshine by Katrina and the Waves here, which is, one of my favorite songs. I tend not to use a song as my alarm because it either makes me hate the alarm very, very quickly and therefore hate the song, or I just become immune to it somehow. So I find one of these ringtones or similar is better. But either way, and also by the way, folks, you can change your haptics in here as well. So you can change the way that it vibrates. And even make new custom vibrations. So you can pick like staccato, which is just like zzz, zzz, which is one of the things I prefer to do. And so if you've got an alarm, not your sleep alarm that you're using, and maybe it repeats every day. I'm not going to set that up now because otherwise I will definitely have regrets later. But I'm going to set that to a minute in the past, and I'm going to call this test alarm. Okay, so say you were using this same alarm every single day. There are actually a few things that you could do in shortcuts. So under shortcuts and automations, you can say alarms, and you can actually do this for when any alarm goes off, specifically for when your wake up alarm or any existing alarm. And you can choose this for goes off, is stopped, or is snoozed. So obviously in Ron's case, we're going to want this for an alarm going off. And I'm going to select an existing alarm, and I'm going to use my test alarm for this. And you'll make sure you want to run this immediately. You don't want to run this after a confirmation. And then you can, in here, you could create a new shortcut, and you can do things like set your volume to 50%, 100%. Don't deafen yourself, please. Now, the thing that I have struggled a little bit to work with in my testing is whether or not the alarm going off counts as a media volume or if it is a ringtone volume. Because it's when you select a sound for your alarm, it's called a ringtone. But when I was messing with this earlier, it was a little unclear to me which one this was. So you may need to experiment with that a little bit. But if you set your volume to 100%, and tell you what, if we duplicate this action by tapping on the little icon in the top left, I can just set the ringtone to 100% as well. Might actually just bring that back down to like 50%, just so that I don't give myself a heart attack the next time my phone goes off, because otherwise that is definitely going to happen. So you can set those alarms to that. You can also set your audio to actually play to a HomePod. That is the word that I am thinking of. But this is a little bit difficult because you're not actually playing music here. That's the trick. Music is not being played. So one of the things that I actually thought of is, assuming that Ron doesn't want to switch to a sleep alarm, which I would personally recommend he does, because I think that would be the correct solution. What I would do is make sure you always use the same alarm, or you could change this automation for when any alarm goes off, and run this immediately. What you could do is you could play some music on your HomePod when an alarm goes off. So what I am going to do is I'm going to select music, okay, and I am going to type in, if I can, School Days by Chuck Berry. Bingo. So I found one of Ron's tracks here that he wanted. You could select a playlist here. You could do whatever it is you like. And then I am going to search for playback as an action. Now there's two options here. I can either hand off playback. So I can say, pass this from my phone and make the HomePod be in charge of it, or I can leave it on my phone. And I am going to select my bedroom HomePods by using the set playback destination. Okay, so there's also, if you tap on set, you can also add a playback destination, so you can have it play in like multiple places at once. Like if you want to play it on 4 different speakers around
the whole house.
Go for it. Go for it.
Playing
if you
Ode
have
to Joy
people
to wake
who
up.
live with you, that may not be the most friend-making activity you could choose. But either way, I'm going to let you choose what it is that you want to do. But you could just have, when any alarm goes off, play, whatever song it is that you want on the speakers in your bedroom, assuming that you are asleep in there. Now, you may want to do something like check if you're at home first, like by checking your Wi-Fi or something like that. But that is probably what I would do. So my preference is switch to the sleep alarm. If switching to the sleep alarm doesn't work for some reason for you, then I would go for creating a shortcuts automation for when an alarm turns off. So it can either be a very specific existing alarm, or it could just be when any alarm goes off, and then, play some music through your speaker. And then, ta-da, you should have 2 alarms at the same time. So that's my preference, because that way you're able to turn it off on your phone, but turning it off on your phone doesn't kill the music playing back from your HomePod.
Nice. All right. So, Ron, there you go. And yeah, I love that because I thought, what is it that's different about mine? And you're so right. It's my sleep alarm. Hey, if you liked that clip, well, there's so much more to get by joining Club TWiT. You can watch all of iOS Today, where we cover all things iOS, tvOS, HomePodOS, watchOS, and so much more. It's all the apps, all the tips and tricks, and everything with Rosemary Orchard and me, Mikah Sargent. Join Club TWiT at twit.tv/clubtwit to see all of iOS Today.